guys, we're back talking some more Season 3 of Harley Quinn on the channel with the 6th episode. Last week's episode was a lot of fun seeing Harley and Ivy go interact with Swamp Thing to try and get down to where exactly Frank is, who took him. We even got to reveal at the end of the episode that Bruce Wayne is the one that stole Frank. And with that exciting cliffhanger ending, you can imagine my surprise when episode 6 does not really follow that up at all, mainly being an episode that revolves around the Joker. Not gonna lie, I did get some enjoyment out of this adventure, seeing Joker try his best to be a great stepdad, but out of the 6 episodes so far, this probably is my least favorite of the bunch. For me at least, it just feels kind of odd to have an entire episode centered around Joker and Gordon when the show is called Harley Quinn and it's about Harley Quinn and Ivy, but there is some humor to be had here. I mean, we open up the episode with a sitcom opening. I mean, there's a Joker theme song ripped right out of a 90s sitcom. Much of the overall episode story and aesthetic feels ripped right out of a sitcom episode. It also makes me wonder if maybe this potentially is kind of a setup, a backdoor pilot for a Joker series, a spin-off series. It is kind of funny to me in the show just how different Joker's life is now, kind of exchanging Batman as his arch rival to one of the annoying parents from his kid's school named Debbie, and even having Batman-themed nightmares about her. As she becomes more and more of a nuisance to Joker as the episode progresses, I did get kind of worried for her because Joker wants to enroll his kid in this dual immersion class, and he's trying his best to be civil about it, as civil as Joker can be, but he really keeps you on your toes because you keep wondering potentially if Joker is going to snap back into that old school style Joker and invoke some chaos, some violence along the way. Even giving us a couple fake outs, it looks like at one point Joker is slipping back into that old style, getting all bloody, but he's actually just making food for his family, and then he looks really angry when he confronts her at her car in the parking lot of the school. In all actuality, it was just a very nice Hispanic meal. It was also a bribe because he was trying to be a more civil, less chaos-filled Joker, but the bribery doesn't end up working, which does make the story a bit more intriguing because of that failure. Joker has to pivot and kind of go back to his old ways in a kind of sense to try and get his kid into the dual immersion program. Much like in episode 4, there is a B storyline going on that inevitably does converge into the main storyline. Once again, it does involve Gordon, as he is still trying his best to run a mayoral campaign. Now he has a little bit more of a better backing, at least. He has over like $400 million, or at least he did because he pumped it all into ads. I don't really know how you waste $400 million on ads, but Gordon found a way to do it, and I thought it was hysterical that he's having a debate with the current mayor while he's still in the hospital recovering, and then he dies in the middle of the debate on live television. What follows, though, is an extremely morbid celebration because now Gordon is actually up in the polls now that he's not running against anybody. But the big problem here, the big crutch, is even with him being ahead, he doesn't have any idea what he wants to do even if he became mayor. He doesn't have policies in place, what he wants to do. Poor Barbara, all throughout this episode and prior to this, she's trying her best to get her father to be a great mayoral candidate if he ever did win, but it's not clicking. Two-Face is kind of running the show here. And Gordon, I mean, he's not a very smart character. We see that even more so later on in the episode, that he's not a very bright character. But here especially, he's now in the lead and he has no idea what he's doing. So it is a fun twisting of events when both the storylines do converge, because Joker now announces he's going to run for mayor, and he has these full-on policies in place that he wants to enforce. He feels very Robin Hood-like. You know, he's robbing banks, giving money to the people. He wants education reform, universal health care, and the rich people have to pay for all of it, which unsurprisingly gets him a lot of support really fast. And, you know, Gordon still has no idea what he's doing this entire time. Since this episode does very much follow the sitcom format, you can imagine that there is going to be a lesson to be learned by the end with Joker, because sure, it's great that Joker has this great mayoral campaign and the people rallying behind him, but all of this stuff, his time and attention, it does come at the expense of spending time with his family. We see his home life is strained because all of his focus and effort is put into the campaign, which is causing him to miss out on major life events for his kid, like he can't go to soccer games, and we just see that come back to bite him when Two-Face inevitably does kidnap his son, and he wants to use him as a pawn in the fact that he's going to kill his son unless he drops out of the race, because Two-Face is really the one running the show here. Gordon is pretty much the pawn in this mayoral race. I feel like in this series in particular, we don't really get to see too much of Two-Face as a villain, so I felt that it was kind of like a nice change of pace here, have him be the main antagonist here, stealing the child, and also finding out that he is the one that actually killed the mayor. He poisoned him. Of course, Gordon isn't involved in this plan at all. He's just as shocked as they are that he's doing this and he wants him to stop. I like Gordon. I think he's a very fun character to follow, but he is written so dumb. I mean, I don't get how he is so dumbfounded by the fact that Two-Face continues to betray him. I mean, they even make the joke, his name is Two-Face. How do you not see through that at this point? Climax of the episode, surprisingly, was not as exciting as I was anticipating. I did think it was hilarious that Joker rolls up in a cake car, but he rolls up and he apologizes to his son for neglecting him, and they make up, and he agrees to drop out of the race just like that. So it was a sweet moment here having that apology before both of them end up getting locked in the roller coaster ride of doom together. And thankfully, Gordon does take the initiative here and does his best to save their lives, so nobody gets out of this really injured in a way. I mean, Two-Face does get hit by a car. Joker's girlfriend, Joker's wife, hits him with the car. I mean, we've even seen with Joker when they argue, she's a very feisty, fiery Latina woman, and Gordon actually even agrees to drop out of the race. So by, I guess, unanimous decision, Joker is now the new mayor, and that does have some intriguing possibilities. As you get a quick glimpse of Harley and Ivy finally getting back into town from their trip from Louisiana last episode. So, as a kind of filler episode, I mean, it was fine. Like I said, not my favorite episode by any means of this series so far. As a side adventure for Joker, I do think it works. I have to wonder, like I said earlier, if this is like a backdoor pilot in a sense, if they want to do a spin-off show. I think this would be like a fun one-off kind of thing. I don't know if I really want like an entire show dedicated to this kind of stuff, but I am excited to get back into the main story next week, because that is what I am more excited for all around. All of the mystery here with getting back Frank from Bruce Wayne, the Bat family, Harley and Ivy together once again. That's the stuff I'm here for, not so much Joker and his family and all that. Once in a blue moon, they're fine, but I don't need to see any more of them really. But make sure you share your thoughts down below for this episode of Harley Quinn Season 3, Episode 6. Did you like the episode? Did you dislike the episode? If this is a potential backdoor pilot in a sense, would you be down for this kind of concept? Not be down? Anyway, share all your thoughts and theories down below for what you think we're going to get in next week's episode, because that's part of the fun is having a conversation with you guys in the comment section. And guys, always check out the reviews. I do appreciate that. Make sure to leave a like on the video and also subscribe to the channel so you don't have reviews, reactions, unboxings, and more. Till next time, see you guys later.